All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Winter 2026 WIHSEA Rocket League live stream. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we start the playoff bracket for both Division 1 and Division 2 for this current WIHSEA Rocket League season. As always, I am your fellow WIHSEA commentator, Andrew Chish Jr., always pleased to be here. Today's matchup, a rematch of what we saw in the first Week 7 match, which was Wisconsin Lutheran versus Hartford Union in a series that was decided by 8 seconds in Game 5. Yes, you heard that right. 8 seconds left in Game 5. Moxy2Cold, the freshman prodigy out of Wisconsin Lutheran, knocking down that game-winning shot and sending Wisconsin Lutheran to the number 8 seed, where they finished 9-5 overall in regular season competition. On the side of Hartford Union, they fought so valiantly to come back in the series, and Moxie just ended their hopes of winning that game. But now a second chance for both of these two teams here, but it is in playoff mode. It is the first round. So we'll get into the notes for both these teams, largely similar to what we saw last week. For those who did not see the Week 7 matchup, this is your first time seeing these notes on these two teams. So, Wisconsin Lutheran Vikings Division 1. Starting roster includes VernamForsaken, Pistro, and Moxy2Cold, as I mentioned before. VernamForsaken and Pistro are both juniors. Diamond 1 rankings. Moxy2Cold, in-game ranking last time I checked with Coach Isles, a Platinum 2. Winter 2025 season stats, 8-5 overall, 24-17 game record. So, in Winter 2025, they made a playoff appearance. However, they did not get a first-round victory. They're looking for that today. This season, they finished 9-5 overall, 28-20 game record, 8th place in Division 1 standings. Some standout wins include Sheboygan South in Week 2, as you see in the yellow. The Whitnall Falcons win. That was huge for their momentum in getting sort of that, top 10 seed. That's why that's highlighted in yellow. I know Whitnall did not do as great as both of these teams, but Whitnall still a top 10 seeded team. And of course, the elephant in the room, the Week 7 victory, the FOS meeting featured on stream, victory against the Orioles 3-2, and what was a great series, headlined by Moxy2Cold, who also had 3 goals in Game 1 to give Wisconsin Lutheran sort of that edge in that matchup going forward. So the roster moves and playoff track record for Wisconsin Lutheran are viewable below. Did some extra legwork to find some of these stats as well. So the team lost to Billy Joe Baggins, their former captain. They retained VernamForsaken and Pistro, and they added Moxie as their third. So in spring of 2022 to now, Wisconsin Lutheran historically in WIHSEA Rocket League is 2-4 in playoff competition with 2 quarterfinal appearances. They have never won a quarterfinal WIHSEA Rocket League playoff match. They've only won in the first round a couple of times, but they have not been able to get to state. They're looking to do that here. So in spring of 22, they had a first round win versus Seymour. Then they would go ahead and unfortunately lose to Elkhorn. Winter 2023 first round loss versus Slinger. And spring 2022, I think they lost to Fort Atkinson. My apologies there. Winter 2023, again, that first round loss versus Slinger. Winter 2024, first round win versus Elkhorn. That's where Elkhorn came from. Didn't see that line initially there. But yeah, they won against Elkhorn in Winter 2024, and then they lost to Chippewa Falls, who is dominant in Division 1 during Winter 2024. And then winter 2025 is listed there. They lost to the MSL Hawks first round. On the side of the Hartford Union Orioles, so their starting roster consists of K9, Clueless, and Emma. K9, their sophomore captain, peak champion 1, Clueless, a peak champion 1, and Emma is unranked. And Emma plays the role of sort of this agent who is just going out for demos. And that's one of the greatest aspects about the series. If you were able to watch, I know Mike Dolly was commenting on that as well, but just having that one player to have a designated role of just trying to confuse the opposition and try to demo them at all costs, I think that's pretty cool. So that's something Wisconsin Lutheran will have to look out for sure. So last season was Hartford Union's inaugural season. They ended up winning a playoff game that was against number 9 Slinger Owls 3-2 as the number 8 seed after winning 10 games. And this season, their metrics are a little bit lower, 8-6, 27 and 21, but still a great showing, especially for a second-year team. Really no notable victories against, those, highly inferior, borderline superior teams, but, still winning games against the inferior teams. I mean, the big one that they were looking for was that win against Wisconsin Lutheran on stream last week, but good news for them. They have another chance to do it, and they have a chance to win another first-round playoff match, so we'll see what happens. And like I said before, this high-stakes environment, both of these teams have been in the playoffs recently. Wisconsin Lutheran trying to get that first-round victory and trying to go over the hump to get to state. Hartford Union just trying to stay consistent in their own right within their second year of WIHSEA Rocket League. Roster moves and playoff track record for the Orioles looks like this. So they lost Spatula and they retained K9, and then they added Clueless and Emma. From winter 2025 to now, the team is 1-1 historically in WIHSEA Rocket League playoffs. One quarterfinal appearance, and we already talked about their playoff track record before. So those are basically all my notes for this. As far as who might come out on top, it's going to come down to, again, what team has the momentum ending this series. I mean, for Hartford, they're going to have to contain Moxy, and for Wisconsin Lutheran, you're going to have to make sure you don't have that many miscues on defense, because in game 2 of that series, they really could have went up 2-0, and the complexion of the series could have changed. But unfortunately for them, Hartford Union K9 was able to come back, and that's when my PC started to act up, and we couldn't see that 6-5 game 2 finish that Hartford Union got to, even the series 1-1. So just by that aspect, I mean, things could have changed drastically. So yeah, those are my notes for the first round playoff match. And then this Thursday, a reminder, we will have the quarterfinal live stream. Not next Tuesday, we'll have it this Thursday, February 19th. So make sure you mark that on your calendars as well. And we will get both of the competing teams in the lobby relatively shortly here to start by the 4 p.m. time slot. And why don't I throw up a couple more graphics here as we're getting close to that start time here. So here are the final standings for Division 1 and Division 2 for anybody wondering how things shaped out. Cedarburg on top of Division 1 and Martin Luther on top of Division 2. Both teams going 14-0 in their respective divisions. We've got teams like Wausau West, Waukesha West, Whitefish Bay, Madison West, and Barron, Delavenderian, St. Lawrence rounding out the top 5s of each divisions. And, I think one highlight for sure is just seeing teams like Hartford Union and Rhinelander doing solid work, as well as Brookfield Academy, just doing some solid work. Sevastopol as well, number 6, St. Lawrence Seminary, number 5. Like, some of these teams that have just sort of emerged out of nowhere, and it's awesome to see that. Like, as these rosters evolve and players graduate, these schools have to adapt to that change, and we're seeing that a lot, I feel, in this season. It's definitely a theme of the season for sure, just making sure you build out your rosters to the best of your ability. And, if you have sophomore talent, like if you're Wausau West, I mean, you're chilling right now. I mean, these players are sophomores. Your team went 11-2. I can't remember the last time I saw Wausau West having 11 wins in a season, so definitely a hats off there. And hats off to Cedarburg too. I mean, Mike Dolly was mentioning this in the playoff bracket reveal that Cedarburg went 1-13 last season. Now they're 14-0. So That's definitely something to be proud of, especially if you are a program like Cedarburg, who may as well be a favorite to win Division One. Now, that's not to say they are going to win Division One, but they have made a strong case of doing that, especially with the victory over Waukesha West in the regular season. But that was a little while ago, so both teams definitely going to do their homework and try to contend with one another if they do get to the point of a championship appearance. And I'll throw up the playoff brackets here for those who have not seen them. So on the top portion of the screen, you have Division One's bracket, and then the bottom portion, you have Division Two's bracket. Our game today, Wisconsin Lutheran versus Hartford in the Division One bracket on the left side. And yeah, I mean, most of these matchups are going to be great. Obviously, in the first round, you might get some of those lopsided matchups. You might, get some of those surprising upsets here, and a couple of upsets that we could see realistically, possibly in the Pacelli Brookfield Academy game, possibly in the Elkhorn Whitnell game. So not too many upset potentials here. Maybe Sevastopol and Rhinelander, but for the most part, first round is pretty streamlined. There's some expectations that everybody has for the first round, but sometimes there could be those upsets. So definitely something to look out for sure. And then once we get into like the quarterfinal and the semifinal and the finals, kind of narrow down who will be the top contending teams to decide who will be the champions of both of these divisions. And the winners of Division One and Division Two will play in a gauntlet, which has been a thing since winter 2023, and I do believe it might be a best of 7. I have to get some clarification on that as we head closer to WIHSEA State, and that will be February 28th at UW Green Bay. So we'll have to see what shakes up with that, but other than that, we're going to be ready to go here relatively shortly. So much like last week, we'll have Wisconsin Lutheran in the blue. We'll have Hartford Union in the orange. Both of these teams making their last-minute preparations of practice time before they get set to compete in this matchup. See that Yamo's in chat. Yamo, I hope that answered your question, that brief intro of who is going to be playing. All right, looks like both teams are already in the lobby, so you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are about ready to go. And as always, like the regular season streams, we will go in after our match is done and see what's going on with the rest of the league in terms of the playoff brackets for the first round. So, do believe everybody is ready. So here we are. The best of 5 series first round between Wisconsin Lutheran and Hartford Union. Here we go. Kickoff going in favor initially for the Orioles. Pistro finds an opening immediately, and again, this is what we saw last week as well. Hartford Union's defense not being clean, and nobody really back there for the Orioles on the defensive side. Everybody kind of pushed up a little bit. I think they were expecting some sort of bounce to go their way on the kickoff, but unfortunately there nothing going for Hartford Union. Wisconsin Lutheran the early advantage. Clueless trying to pass it out to K9. One gets popped up. Clueless is there, takes a 50. Emma was in the vicinity. K9 with his own 50. Scaling on the right wall. Gets beat by Pistro. Flicks it over Emma. Actually, Emma bumps. Clueless was the one that got flicked over. Vernam the center. Moxy is there. Takes the 50, but not enough clearance for a possible shot. Emma already looking to demo Moxy. And she does. Clueless with a slight touch. Pistro going to try to challenge immediately. And that's the thing about Wisconsin Lutheran. The big difference maker here is Wisconsin Lutheran is capable of getting off these good starts, but on their defensive side, they have to be consistent too, because sometimes they let K9 just leak toward their goal, especially on the kickoffs. Emma already doing a great job at her role, just disrupting the communications between Wisconsin Lutheran. Moxy trying to set up a shot, but Clueless there to make the clear. Clueless a pass to K9, flicks it over to Vernam, the only one back. K9 takes a 50. Minimal boost. Decides to just hit the ball. Back to Clueless. Bistro goes underneath the ball. Vernam with the clear touch. It's up the right wall. See what K9 can do here. A little shake and bake maneuver. But Moxy shuts down his line of sight towards the net. Emma with a demo on the Moxy. So they're already shutting down Moxy, but gotta get some points on the board too. Not really a dire need as of right now, but definitely don't want to wait until it's too late. Clueless loses track of the ball. Vernam looking for a double touch. It's centered. It's open, and Bistro is there for the Vikings. And that's just a great offensive possession for the Vikings. Vernam just making sure K9 can't get toward the ball, and you know that corner bounce in favor of the Vikings. 2-0 here with 3:03 to go. Clueless looking to get it past Bistro. He does. Accidentally gets bumped though. That's another great touch. Another good corner bounce. A demo from Vernam, but no one there to capitalize for the Vikings. Vernam looking to put a shot in. Oh, it goes off the post and it's no good. Still some time for the Orioles to work with, but definitely got to sharpen up their defensive strategy for sure. Clueless can do a nice demo from Emma, but she accidentally bumps the ball back into Hartford Union's corner. Ram coming up from midfield. Bangs it off the backboard. Gets a demo, but no one there to follow up from Wisconsin Lutheran. They are being very cautious on the offensive side, which is a good observation for sure. Just goes to their level of awareness so far in the series. They know it's important to them. It is playoffs, so you don't want to have too many mistakes here. Clueless gets a shot. Is that going to go in, though? It will. Wow. Great read. I thought maybe there was going to be too much forcible contact on this one, but yeah, it just plays it cleanly off the post and no pressure whatsoever. Clueless. It's the Orioles on the board. They're down 1 with less than 2 to go here in game 1. K9 off the kickoff. Good center opportunity, but Moxy there to clear it right away. Was an excellent field general in the series last week. Clueless the save on Vernam's shot, but again, Wisconsin Lutheran just gonna keep putting the pressure on. The 50 goes off the backboard. Double commit from the side of the Vikings. Clueless there for the save. K9 coming in transition. Knows that Wisconsin Lutheran's a bit shaky on defense after that double commit, but Vikings able to recover, at least for now. A good 50 taken by Clueless. It'll be K9's turn. A good 50 from him as well. A little over a minute to go. Moxy getting that past midfield. Good clear by Clueless. Putting it in Viking territory. It's Bistro trying to pass it off to Vernam. Clueless has an opening here. Oh, it goes just above the crossbar, though. K9 recenters it. Clueless, no boost, though. Someone's got to get back there. K9 will be initially, and he will get the save. Looked a bit scary for the moment. Had to use about half of that 33 boost that he got from respawning. Couple players whiffing on either side. Clueless trying to carry this one. Bistro with the disruption, but K9 going off the wall, and that's another thing too I'm noticing about Hartford Union. Not have that much boost. Clueless' shot above the crossbar, no good. So they've had 2 great offensive possessions to get a goal. They have come up short. Still a few seconds left. K9 has an opening, flicks it over one, but Moxy there for the save. Clueless looking to center this one. Gets caught on the ceiling though. Loses a bit of momentum. K9 trying to go underneath Bistro. A great defense there. We're going past the ball. K9 having to flick it off his car. It's still up. Moxy ideally trying to put this one to the ground, and he does. Wisconsin Lutheran coming away with a 2-1 victory. I thought maybe Hartford Union was going to get the chance to either tie this game or potentially come back and win this game 1. Obviously, in terms of shots, Wisconsin Lutheran having more on the board. Pistro 2 goals that were crucial in the victory for game 1. So see how game 2 shakes out. And this is the chance for Wisconsin Lutheran to really put an exclamation point on the series early. Unlike they did last week, where they let Hartford Union kind of come back within that last minute and a half. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that on our stream, but Hartford Union's coach Sellinger definitely saw that one for sure. K9 an opening on the kickoff, but he knows Moxie's there. Oh, Pistro cutting that one off. A little bit of an interception there. K9 thought he had more breathing room than he initially thought, but Pistro just came over the middle to defend that one. K9 the flick towards midfield. Emma looking for the demo. Just trying to... Oh, the net's open. Someone's got to go there, but no boost again for Hartford Union on the offensive side. That's definitely hurting them for sure. They had just a tad bit of boost. They could, put some shots in the net here. Get off to some early momentum. Demo from Emma, and K9's going to have a little bit more room to work with. Gets it past Pistro. Gets it past Moxie, but second flick not going near the net as intended. Clueless the center opportunity, but takes all 3 Viking defenders to fend off that shot. Vernam looking for the center, but Moxie's there. Oh my goodness. Just an aerial assassin Moxie is, and it's a good setup for Vernam. Just trying to confuse the defense of Hartford, just make them guess who's actually going up to hit this ball. And Vernam just kind of teeing it up for his teammate, and that's a 1-0 lead with 3:54 to go. Pistro off the kickoff. Oh my. Just putting it right above K9, just basically dunking on him, if you will. And that's already a 2-0 lead with 3:51 to go for the Vikings. And this is something that they were building upon in game 2 of last week. Gotta watch K9 on these kickoffs, though. Oh, and look at that. As I say it, I knew he was coming across. And yeah, it's one thing that Wisconsin Lutheran's going to have to look out for sure. Do not give K9 any space on these kickoffs, because he will make you regret it. And just like that, Hartford Union back in it. A bit of a neutral kickoff, kind of rolling into the Vikings half. Vernam pops this one up. Maybe trying to go for a double tap. Oh, misses the tap, though. K9 strong clear. Oh, almost was a goal. 2-star players colliding there. Moxie getting the better of that exchange. Moxie going up, looking to drop the hammer, but unable to execute. K9 misses the ball, though. So last line of defense, Clueless. He misses, and that will be a goal for Pistro. Yeah. Oh, looked like the ball kind of lagged off of K9 there, and Clueless thought K9 had that initially, and just kind of rushed to defense there after quickly realized, wait a minute, he doesn't have it. So he's got put in the predicament of thinking that the ball was going to be saved by the second man. Ended up having to rush the third man position, not able to really react as accurately as he wanted to. And now Hartford Union down 2 with less than 3 to play. Vernam the demo onto Emma. Going to drop down right in front of net. Pistro the 50, but good defense by Clueless. See Clueless soar the sky, pass it right to K9. That ball was going to go back to Clueless. Pistro there to cut it off. It's Wisconsin Lutheran. Oh, that might be a goal, and it is for Moxie. Well, didn't want to say anything initially, but Moxie... That ball kind of just got launched into the corner, and Moxie just happened to be there to touch it. Wow. Unfortunate for the Orioles here, is now they find themselves down 3. Backs against the wall. Clueless on limited boost will have to take this, but misses the ball. Trying to go off the wall. Emma accidentally bumps into Clueless. K9 with the demo. And Pistro both missing the ball. We have a rule 1. I believe that's K9 and Pistro. So it's turned into a 2v2. Looks like the rule 1 was broken, and it was. Pistro and K9 going back to their usual formations here. Offense and defense, respectively. Pistro trying to take this up the right side. Does so. Moxy there on the left side, going coast to coast, but K9 the demo. Vernam stealing the boost away from Hartford Union. That's another thing I was mentioning before, is Wisconsin Lutheran's ability to have great offensive possessions, at least put pressure on, and biggest thing as well, just stealing the boost away from your opponent. That puts them in harder predicaments, especially if they're down this big. A little over a minute to play. Demo with another demo. K9's gonna have to be awkward here, and Vernam taking advantage of that one. Yeah, just an unfortunate touch by Clueless, and Vernam there to capitalize on it. And, you know, what we're seeing here is Wisconsin Lutheran just not thinking twice about their decision-making, not hesitating at all. And it's kind of what they were the victim of last week, is sort of this second-guessing what they wanted to do on the defensive side in terms of defending Hartford Union. And so far, they've had control of this series. About to go up 2-0 in the series on match point. And again, they're looking for that playoff success. They felt like they needed to get that playoff win last year, as that one just rolls in for Moxy. You know, this season they feel like they had a better team lineup, team chemistry, all that fun jazz, and you know, they're looking to make a statement. And you know, going up 6-1, 38 seconds playing game 2 definitely validates the statement for sure. Evidence to support the claim, as all the English teachers say, as Vernam's shot saved by a little Clueless. That one centered for Moxy, but not able to make the read. Less than 20 to go. Will Wisconsin Lutheran be able to put up a Brazil against Hartford Union? We can't have that discussion now. About 10 seconds to go here, and for Hartford Union, just gotta wash this one down the drain and prepare for the third game, as Pichler's shot saved away. Maybe another chance for Wisconsin Lutheran at the net. Vernam tried to rush it, and that one falls down as K9 tried to carry it away from the right side wall, and Wisconsin Lutheran up 2-0. And again, on the side of Hartford Union, you know, Emma doing her job with the demos, but it would be nice to see her involved a little bit in the offensive game. Like, definitely throw a curveball at Wisconsin Lutheran, as you know, this is basically do or die. This is their season on the line here, so we'll see what happens. Match point already for Wisconsin Lutheran. K9 can do off the kickoff of center. Oh, that one just wide of the nets. Like a good opportunity for Hartford Union. And Moxy is rocking the scarab in a playoff. I did not have that on my bingo card today, so shout out to Moxy for doing that. Bistro shot on line. Can Clueless get there in time? No, he cannot. Again, that's another situation where Hartford Union just feels a little bit too comfortable having all members up front. The offensive side, never want to have all your eggs in one basket, especially in an offensive Rocket League possession. Ideally, you want to have one person operating the net at all times, via rotation, obviously. Not the same person back there all the time. Emma with the demo. Vernam the center, but Clueless there to knock it away. Bistro centering it, but K9 gets the better of that one. Moxy, a little stop and go, accidental backflip, maybe look to double jump. K9 misses as well. Emma the demo on to Bistro this time. Bistro finds an opening again, and Wisconsin Lutheran just pouring it on here. Just a little bit of a slot shot there coming off the wall. You know, like one of those raindrops that we all used to watch fall on a school bus during a field trip. But regardless, oh, well, oh, no. Clueless. I thought maybe he was going to get that one, but it just joinked off the crossbar at the last possible second. Hartford Union needed that spark of momentum for sure. Emma's just trying to chase Moxy out of the play, but Moxy able to kick it out to that right side where, well, I thought Vernam was going to go for that, but Moxy ended up taking the brunt of that one, but ended up missing the ball. Vernam the demo onto Emma. That one's in center position. Clueless trying to do something. Emma with more pressure. Other demo just going around and demolishing all of the Vikings offerings. Canine shot saved away by Moxy. See what Vernam can do here. Takes a 50. No one there underneath for the Vikings. Still some hope for Hartford here. Bistro the center. Knocked away by Canine. Vernam the center. Moxy there scoring with the Scarab. That's a Team Vitality logo as well on there. And Moxy is just styling and profiling here. 3-0, 249. And like I said before, as long as Wisconsin is able to hold on to this lead, I mean, they'll walk out of here with a clean sweep, but gotta just keep your head on the swivel at all times. You cannot stop playing knowing that you have a good lead. You have to just manage the clock well and make sure your opponents don't get any unnecessary opportunities. A9 with a flick. Limited boost though. Clueless finds an opening, and there it is. So that's one goal that Hartford needs to either potentially tie this up. So 2:24 to go. Definitely a doable situation for the Orioles again. Just gonna have to stay consistent on defense, and on offense they're gonna have to take advantage of opportunities. There it is again for Hartford Union. And within a flash, they're within one. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this Hartford Union offense definitely built for quick sparks, and not really so much for the long-term sustainability. So that's one aspect of Hartford Union's game that is definitely slept on, is they can get you on a good kickoff regardless of who you are. But again, like I said before, on the defensive side, you have to stay consistent. And unfortunately there for Hartford Union, Canine kind of just getting caught up. Moxy just boxing out Canine there like he's playing basketball. And Pistro increases the lead back to 2 for the Vikings, and there's still a lot more time left here. There's about 2 minutes. Canine shoots it to Clueless, who scores for the Orioles. And again, it's just back and forth. This is what we saw predominantly in the series last week in the opening match for week 7. And still over 2 minutes. So it's definitely not over yet. And at one point, Wisconsin Lutheran leading 3-0 here. Clueless gonna have to back out of that one. Canine has a potential opening, flicks it over one. Moxy at the goal line, he gets pumped, and Canine puts it through. Unbelievable. And all of a sudden, Hartford Union tying this one up. Just look at that play from Canine. Just knowing that Moxy was there. I don't even know how you hit that Scarab car. I mean, it's such a unique hitbox too. It's not like you're just slamming a Fennec or an Octane. You're slamming a Scarab. It's a completely different hitbox, and whatever other terminology you want to put there. Essentially, for simple terms, it's a smaller car to hit. But 4-4 here with 1:30 and change to go. Clueless trying to get it away from the net. Takes on contact from Pistro. Moxy the 50 on the Scarab. Trying to get it past Canine, but unsuccessful. And what you're going to see here is Wisconsin Lutheran just trying to box out Hartford Union and try to get a good look on offense here. Down 2 demos from Wisconsin Lutheran. Oh, and they just cannot capitalize right away. Just flustered on defense. K9 another shot, and it's through, and Hartford Union take the lead. A hat trick. Unbelievable. K9 is just so good at taking these open field shots and able to just thread the needle. And wow, 106 to play. Vernam the demo on the K9. Center opportunity for Wisconsin Lutheran. Clueless, a great pinch. Oh my, that was huge. K9 looking to shake and bake. Bumped off. Emma looking for a demo. Gets it, but Vernam all alone. Oh, he can't read the bounce off of the backboard there. Pistro an opening. He's got an open shot at the net. Puts it through. 5-5 with 31 seconds. And again, another instance where members are just too up front for the Orioles. 31 seconds to go, and it's understandable why that tends to happen. They have Emma playing the demo role, and then they have K9 and Clueless generating the offensive scheme. Pistro, though, finds an opening. It's a save from K9. How in the world did he just do that? Unbelievable. Got 15 seconds to go here. Emma the demo on a Moxy. K9 thought he was going to challenge the one-on-one with Vernam and declines the offer. Clueless gets demoed. A shot from Pistro, and it's not in. Someone's going up for Wisconsin Lutheran, though, and it's in. Pistro puts it through, and Wisconsin Lutheran will win this game. Oh, what a heartbreaking goal for the side of Hartford. Wow. Unbelievable way to end it. K9 not able to save it, and Pistro 5 goals in this game 3 for Wisconsin Lutheran. What a performance. What a performance. Moxy 1 goal, 3 assists. Wow, unbelievable ending there. Hartford tried to come back in the series and were just shut down at the last possible second. And that is going to be the first round playoff match. I'll tell you what, that last couple minutes did not seem like it was going to be a 3-0 sweep. Maybe at least, winning in 4 for Wisconsin Lutheran, maybe even 5, having to scratch and claw for that. But, for Pistro just shutting down Hartford Union, 5-goal performance in game 3, and that's just amazing to see if you're Wisconsin Lutheran. So they win their first playoff game since winter 2024, and Hartford Union will look to reset for the winter 2027 season already. So unfortunate for Hartford. I mean, one of these teams had to lose at the end of the day, so always unfortunate to see one of these teams lose in the first round of the playoffs. But unfortunately, that is just how things happen. But credit to both teams for sure, giving us 2 great streams. Although Wisconsin Lutheran dominated most of the series, but I mean, in that last few minutes of game 3, Hartford Union gave some entertaining content for sure. So glad to have both teams on stream for not only week 7 but the playoffs as well. So we'll go ahead and look at the standings so far for playoff matches. So go ahead and switch to that scene. And here we go. I'll have to zoom this in a little bit. Apologies, a little bit zoomed out before. I think I was doing something before. I think I was taking a screenshot of all the matchups beforehand. But then I found the brackets, and I was like, oh, why not just put the brackets here as well? So for Division 1 so far, we have our first round matches. Cedarburg currently leading 2-0 against Bayport. Madison West 2-1 against Racine Unified. So Racine Unified able to pull out 1 game against Madison West. All right. Whitefish Bay 3-0 against Waukesha South. Wisconsin Lutheran 3-0 against Hartford Union. Waukesha West 3-0 against Appleton East. Elkhorn 3-0 against Whitnall. Okay, so no shocking upset happened there. So Elkhorn still in the bracket. Fox Valley 3-0, and then Wausau West a forfeit victory against Port Washington. So all of the top contenders advancing to the second round. For Division 2, Delvenderian leading 2-0 against Beloit Turner. Pacelli leading 2-0 against Brookfield Academy. Bart Luther 2-0 against Random Lake. St. Lawrence Seminary 2-0. Watoma and Freedom still just starting. Sevastopol and Rhinelander as well. So I think these two matchups are going to be the ones to watch out for in case of an upset. St. Croix advancing to the quarterfinal, hoping to make state. They did not make state last season. Unfortunately, they were upset by Port Washington, so that was definitely a tough pill to swallow for sure. Barron 2-0 against Deerfield. So really no upsets so far. So kind of to be expected, but you never know. With these playoff brackets, any given Tuesday, as our executive director Mike Dolly likes to say. But that will be all for us today in terms of our WIHSEA Winter 2026 Rocket League first round playoff coverage. Do stay tuned to social media updates to see what matchup may be selected. Here, I'll go back. Let me see here. Okay, so round 2, it's not obviously not going to be finalized yet, but when round 2 is finalized, stay tuned to social media to see which game will be selected for our quarterfinal match of the week. That will be this Thursday, February 19th, not next week. Tuesday, February 24th, or 24th. Sorry, it will be on Thursday, February 19th. Same time, 4 p.m. And yeah. So thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of the evening, and we'll see you back this Thursday for quarterfinal playoff action in the Winter 2026 WIHSEA Rocket League season.